All right, guys, welcome back. I wanted to share with you a couple stories before we dive into your business on the effect of having all of the ingredients listed out. And hopefully you're feeling less anxiety, not quite as overwhelmed when I say the word system. It's not having your entire business put together. It's really just the ingredient list for your business. Um, so the first thing that comes to mind is when I was in college, I was I was super cheap when it came to food. I never ate out and I always made my own food, but I was also super lazy. So I really only had two things that I ate like ever in college. One was I was a delivery uh, driver for Domino's Pizza, and I would literally probably one or two meals of every day just eat like the mistake pizza or crazy bread that they put the wrong ingredient on a pizza and they had to remake it. I remember just taking home boxes every week of food, and literally that was like half the reason I worked at Domino's was for not having to pay for food. So I probably made more money in savings on food than I did actually delivering and getting tips from customers. The other thing that I did was I made stir fry, and I would make like a week worth of stir fry at a time, and I would eat that for breakfast, lunch, or dinner if I didn't have pizza to eat. And I got really, really good at knowing what went into stir fry. I eat like I go to the store and within a couple minutes find everything that I was looking for. I knew where the chicken was. I knew what kind of chicken I needed, and I knew what kind of rice I needed. I knew how much I needed. I knew exactly what spice I wanted to add. I knew what type of soy sauce I wanted. And the ingredient list was pretty short and it was just super easy for me to do that. And I feel like in business, especially in the beginning, it's natural for a business owner to know what the components are of the business, especially when it starts out and it's small. Oh, okay. I know that I need to talk to a customer. I need to collect their information. I need to do a service, and I need to collect money. That might be all that's in the beginning of a business. They don't have an operating agreement, entity formation. They're not tracking their finances. Maybe they don't even have an extra bank account. It's just going into their personal account. They're not accounting for it. They don't have any employees, etc. Right? And uh, if I were to go from a stir fry maker, really, really good at knowing the ingredients off the top of my head, to going and working in a restaurant like Cheesecake Factory, whose menus, what I mean, I'm curious to know if anyone knows how many pages, how many menu options there are in the Cheesecake Factory. Like it's just insane. And if I were to go from one to Cheesecake Factory as a cook, it would be like extremely overwhelming. And that is when system really becomes valuable, is when it moves from I'm doing everything myself and there aren't a lot of components to, okay, now there are a lot of components. There are a lot of different departments. I'm not even doing a lot of this anymore. I'm outsourcing it, or I have employees and I need to train them on it. Um, that is when this becomes extremely valuable. And I remember when that happened in my businesses. It happened in every single one of them, where I started going to bed at night just not even knowing if I did everything that I needed to do. What part of the system, what component did I not add to my recipe today that's going to make the cake, or the not come out as a perfect cake, and it started causing a lot of anxiety. And so what I did this probably every month or every quarter, and I still do it to this day, where I just get a big whiteboard and I just write down what the departments are of my business and what all of the components are. And I just make sure that I have them, and inevitably every single time there's one or two that I don't need to do anymore. And there's one or two new components that I need to add to the business. And it's just good to update the ingredient list to your business. Apparently there's a rooster or something down there. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. But the point of this is, as you go from kind of new immature business to maturity and scale, the components get extremely messy, and they start stacking and piling on themselves within departments very, very quickly, to the point where it's impossible to keep in your head. And if you can't keep it in your head, then it leads to meals that come out, or a business that just is unorganized. Food doesn't taste very good. Customers can tell that something's off, you know, and in business, we want consistency. We want good quality results all the time, like clockwork. And that's what this is going to provide for you. So that said, next step, we're going to actually dive into your business. If you have a whiteboard, if you have a big piece of paper, if you have, you know, something where you can write down all the components, that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to departmentalize. I'm going to go into a video explaining how I do that. I'm going to actually show you live how I would do that for a sample business. So let's get into it.